In the last video of Catalog-ger, I showed you how to go through and make this app. And so you can sort of see this is working. This was exactly what I demoed during class. But you'll see there are a couple of things that aren't great. For example, if I have Mr. Khan selected and I hit the is not at school switch, and I switch to a different teacher and then come back, you can see it's not actually saving the fact that I have changed the switch. This is because in this step up here, where you click on a row in the table, what I need to actually do is set the currently selected teacher, which I define up here. I need to set that currently selected teacher equal to the selected teacher inside this function. So I can fix this by going currently selected teacher, that pops up, and just set that equal to selected teacher. The difference between the two is that selected teacher I am defining as the row in the teacher list that was clicked on in the table. Currently selected teacher is the teacher that the whole application is using to identify which teacher is being interacted with. So if I do that, that actually fixes it in the application. So now if I go to Mr. Khan, I hit the off switch, switch to another teacher, and go back, that off switch stays. And so I could say Mr. Williams is here, Mr. Khan is not here, and that data stays in my application, which is pretty cool. Another thing you might notice is that for Mr. Williams right here, if I turn off his switch, this label does not change. And that's because I'm not telling it to change that label when I flip the switch. Flipping the switch is what happens in this code right here. So what I could do is go to the @school_today label and change the text to say something different. I realize that I actually can use this if-else statement that I have up top in the selection right here. So I'm going to just copy and paste that. But I'm going to switch some things around. If selected teacher that is at school today is true, it's going to switch this around and set that label the correct way. Let's see if that works. We have exactly the sort of behavior that we want to have. Now when I flip the switch, it's saying that he is at school. Let's keep stepping it up a little bit. So let's go back to our table up here. And let's see if we can make it so that if a teacher is here at school, we add in a little check mark emoji that says that they're here. In the previous app, that was us changing the color of the row in the table, but let's add in an emoji. So I'm going to add another if-then statement. So I'm going to say if current teacher row dot is at school today is true, then I'm going to do something a little bit different with what is visible inside that row. So I'm going to keep this the same, but I'm going to add in a space, and then I'm going to put in an emoji. So if I go here, let's go to my emojis, and let's find something good. How about that one right there? Okay, so I'm going to add that in to the row. Otherwise, if that is not true, I'm going to just make it the name, and that's it. So I'm going to paste that in there. So if you're at school today is true, we're going to have a check mark there. Otherwise, the row is just going to have the person's name in there. Let's try it out. And so we can see right now this is correctly adding in the check mark for Mr. Weinberg, Ms. Neal, and Mr. Khan because they're all here. But if I select Mr. Khan and I say he is not here, his check mark disappears. And so now I can scroll through my list and see who is here and who is not.